not just kicking in a door and direct action, because there is so much more when it comes to interpersonal relationships.
Yep. I think what you saw early on too is most of the Special Forces teams that went in early on were mature. Most of us were 35 years old, right? Had been in Special Forces for 12 to 20 years, had been in the Middle East and Uzbekistan and that region. And so the maturity and the calmness in combat is what kind of won the day. Early on, what a lot of people don't realize, Special Forces was sent in to do a traditional mission, unconventional warfare. The mission was very simple. It was to raise a guerrilla army, and in the springtime when the Marine Corps and Army invades Afghanistan, come out of the mountains and support them. Well, day one that changed. The Afghan partnerships that were forged immediately knew where the enemy was. They knew their strengths and weaknesses. And as a Green Beret, it's their fight and their battle, and we enabled them. So in 90 days, 90 Green Berets overtook Afghanistan.
And now we have that actually told in a major motion picture, 12 Strong.
12 Strong, yes, it was a recent movie starring Chris Hemsworth, all the stars, and produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. And it was all Hollywood, right? Lots of machine gun fire and lots of tanks and mortars, but it did capture the essence of a small team being sent to a place unknown. We wish they would have spent more time with the family, because leaving the family, right, at a moment's notice, deserves more conversation. But it was a movie. It had a hero, which was the captain, and a lot of that action that the captain did, obviously the NCOs did as well. So there's good and bad about a Hollywood movie.
That's a Hollywood movie for us. So there's something that I heard you talk about. I think it was actually on this guy. So Scott Neal is everywhere. He's been on Fox News. If you go to President George W. Bush's page, he has his profile on there with a little 2-minute segment on there. And one of the things that really stands out in there is you start talking about transition. This is back when you were development director, I believe, at the Green Beret Foundation. You were starting the next ridgeline. I think I talked to you a little bit about post-traumatic growth and what that means to me. There's comorbid issues that a lot of our warriors...
That's a big word, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that.
Comorbid.
Green Berets know how to mix big words and sentences, so I like that.
He said one earlier. I have no clue. I'm going to be looking it up later. But the comorbid issues, traumatic brain injuries from all the blasts, firing off Cargul-Stuffs, taking out IEDs, door charges, all those things. And then just dealing with loss of brothers, things of that nature, and then transition out of the military in general. So there's overlaying issues that we have to face, but you take a really positive look at who we are as elder warriors. Can you talk a little bit about that strength-based perspective that you kind of look at warriors return?
Well, once again, that's the mindset as being a warrior, right? And the training that surrounds you. And what's unique about Green Berets, and not a lot of people understand the selection process to find the character and competency, the maturity to become a Green Beret. It is more selective than a fighter pilot, right? And that's what won us the day early in Afghanistan and early in Iraq, was just our ability to adapt and to be positive and be problem solvers. And those inherent traits, I realized when I got out, I was being bombarded by a false narrative from a lot of nonprofits and a lot of news and medias that we were all broken. So I took the attitude, hey, I'm a little dented. I realize, I have my issues, and that's a good word, is issues. Issues can be solved, right? They can be identified, right? They can be treated or mended, or time heals wounds, all of those factors, and you can get past them. And so when I joined the Green Beret Foundation, I was actually asked to be on the board first, and I was reviewing our programs, and a lot of the programs were very noble. They were for ill, injured, and wounded, and I realized at the time that they were a lot of nonprofits were attacking those issues, right? And there was a lot of resources flown around the country, very generous American population, very generous Congress and Senate with fundings, but nobody was talking about transition, right? The life, the day after, the family coming home, us rejoining our community. And I read a lot about the greatest generation, World War II. and the war was over, and it forced them to come home. How did they assimilate? What did our Congress do? GI Bills, the housing, all of these factors to really put ourselves back into the economy. So at the time, I knew that we needed to change, right? And it's very hard morphing an organization to change, right?
Yep.
It's one of the hardest things to do.
How do you disrupt a big process?
Well, it's not a disruption, it's convincing others because it's so easy to sell ill, injured, and wounded, broken, right? And talk about transition because we were all going through it, but it was very undefined and we didn't have conversations amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? We all left the service and we were alone for the first time.
Isolation.
Yeah. And so I began, metaphorically, I said, hey, let's go next ridgeline from here to here. How am I going to get through the valleys and the perils and the thickets and the bushes? So I created a program, I created pillars, helped it get some funding, and then I abruptly quit.
Yeah.
Why? Because if I couldn't go through the program and be honest to its tenets, then the program was a lie.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Well, the thing is we always graduate to something, right? Like you did that, you helped build something. The next ridgeline is still going on.
Right.
The Green Beret Foundation is still continuing to help our warriors out. And the definition of transition, it is the paradigm shift for this generation of warriors. You mentioned World War II.
Yep.
That was the extension of the GI Bill, Korean War, that was matching with universities and the VA system for research.
Yep.
Vietnam, we had post-traumatic stress as a diagnosis come out. The Gulf War, we started registrations.
Yep.
Gulf War syndrome, now it's the burn pits. And I think that this generation, I think that's exactly the truth. The paradigm shift that has to happen is transition, because at some point we have to start looking at our warriors as responsibilities, start looking at them as assets.
Right. We are. If you look at the amount of training, mentoring, leadership development, education, all of that is a value. Just the same thing if you paralleled a student today at 19 and a young soldier at 19 and you put them through the steps of life, at 20 you're in charge of 4 men or women, you have a difficult mission, you're expected to be more mature, you're doing counseling, you're doing all these factors. So what we haven't done is really promoted the benefits of what our military affords our citizens, because remember, citizens are citizens, whether it's a doctor citizen or an Army doctor citizen or a politician or a young immigrant that finally gets their citizenships. This country has a value in all its citizens, and the warrior citizen has a tremendous amount of investment from this country to shape them.
This has been awesome having you on the show. Guys, this is what I'm going to say. American Freedom Distillery, they have the Horse Soldier brand. It's now in how many ABC stores?
It's in 73 ABC stores. It's in a lot of the smaller stores in Tampa Bay. So we're growing like weeds. In 2 months, we've matched 2 years worth of growth and just going after it every day. And
I did hear this, the documentary Legion of Brothers. Is that going on Netflix?
It is on Netflix, Hulu's, all your on-demand stations. It was originally funded by CNN. We went to Sundance and had a fun there, and you can still watch it and see it. And hopefully that it has created a conversation that inspires more documentaries.
That's awesome. So Scott Neal, American Freedom Distilleries, he's a legend in the Green Beret community, someone that I look up to and admire. He hasn't stopped. I've seen him do several businesses, and that right there is growth in my mind. So thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next episode with Wade, the Guitar for Heroes gentleman.
Hi, I'm Reagan Weiss, and this is Newport Richie. The city of Newport Richie is on the up. Stay tuned because there's more to come.
I'm JDRF.
I am JDRF. I'm JDRF because...
I am JDRF.
Because...
Type 1 diabetes is hard. I am JDRF because I advocate.
Because I am helping research progress.
Because I am part of a community of hope.
Because I believe we can find a cure.
I'm JDRF because I'm gonna beat this.
Type 1 diabetes won't hold me back.
We are JDRF.
We are JDRF because we do big things.
We are JDRF
because they're the ones at the front lines doing what we need.
every morning when I wake up. I am JDRF.
I am JDRF because I want an artificial pancreas. Because I am the mother of a type 1.
Because I'm a fighter. Because I believe in them.
Because I want my kids to say they used to have diabetes.
Because I want to help others.
Because I believe we're all working together.
Because together we can build a community.
Helping to just raise awareness for type 1 diabetes.
I am JDRF because I want to see a world where type 1 becomes
type 9 diabetes. I am JDRF because I want a cure.
Welcome back to the March Home. We're back to the studio. This time we're talking with Wade from Heartstrings for Heroes. Wade has been doing this for a while, giving out guitars to warriors and running programs for some of the Gold Star families in our communities. I can tell you, underserved population. Wade, thanks for being on the show, man.
Welcome.
Thanks for making it up here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about Heartstrings for Heroes. What's the mission and what do you guys do?
So I started this out of a bad situation.
Really?
I was addicted to alcohol.
Yep.
And in 2006, I basically crashed and burned.
Hence the name Whiskey, or Wade Whiskey.
Wade Whiskey,
Yeah.
that must
I drank enough of it in one
Yeah.
day. So, you know, back in 2006, I collapsed. I ended up in the hospital for 3 days detoxing.
Oh, wow.
And when I got out, I was like, how am I going to function sober now?
Yeah.
So that was my plan, was like, you know, going back to the only thing that I knew, which was music.
Yep.
I delved back into music. I wrote a record. I toured in England. I toured in Canada. I toured in the US. I did it all sober. So I thought if I can heal myself with music, I can heal guys coming home with PTSD.
Yep.
You know all about that.
Yeah.
And so I'm on a mission now to give guitars across the country.
That's
as many as I
awesome.
can, you know, so.
So what's really cool about what you just kind of talked about is something that we always do at the Veterans Alternative. We always talk about this idea of post-traumatic growth.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Growth after trauma that you've gone through.
Right.
And it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit more insight? Like that's a pretty phenomenal story. You went through this probably rock bottom.
Rock bottom, yeah. If you've ever seen that show, Leaving Las Vegas, the movie with Nicolas Cage,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
that's kind of the road I was going down.
Yeah.
And it almost killed me. You know, I literally had grand mal seizures and the whole works. It was ugly.
Oh, wow.
So I said to God, I said, please, if you get me through this, I swear I'll never go back to that.
Yeah.
And, you know, fast forward 12 years sober now. Here
That's
I am.
awesome. Good
And
for
so
you.
you're doing like these guitars that you're giving away. They're obviously awesome guitars, but
This
then
one's
you're
beautiful.
doing it through this process. Tell us a little about this guitar first of all.
So this is our newest little baby, our addition. Sammy Hagar
Beautiful.
from Van Halen.
Yeah.
Michael Anthony, also from Van Halen. Vic Johnson and Jason Bonham signed this.
Oh, wow.
The son of the famous Led Zeppelin drummer.
Oh, wow.
So all these guys signed this guitar.
Yeah.
What's going on with it? How are you using their signatures to help out warriors?
Yeah, a whole bunch of celebrities have backed our foundation, from Ted Nugent to Willie Nelson, all these guys.
David Allen Coe.
David Allen Coe.
I saw all these names that
he's
were
a
listed
wild
on
one,
there.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wild ones
Oh,
you
yeah.
have on there.
Yeah, he's well, they're all wild. You know,
Yeah.
it's rock and roll.
There's a
you know.
lot of wild ones.
Hence what my problem, you know,
Yeah,
with the whiskey.
right.
But anyway, yeah, so what we do is all our supporters, we give them a chance to win these guitars. So, you know, they support our foundation, they buy a ticket, a raffle ticket, and they get a chance to take it home. And
So here's the coolest thing.
yeah,
You do this every single year.
absolutely.
Last year, it was kind of last minute, but we started a new tradition.
Right, yeah, brand new tradition.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
And it'll be a part of the Freedom Fest that we do in Newport Richey.
Yeah, November 11th.
So
Awesome.
that's when, and you have, this isn't the only guitar that you have that's going to be raffled
Right,
off this year.
this is one of three.
Okay.
We have Steve Earle, three-time Grammy Award winner Steve Earle, and Ted Nugent. So we got these 3 guitars. We're going to pick the winner at your event.
That's
is
pretty awesome. So first of all, how do people get raffle tickets for that?
Well, we like to go out and do events, you know, and people come and we tell them about the foundation.
Right.
And they can buy tickets like in person kind of thing. We
Yep.
don't really sell them online, you know.
Right.
We like to go out and, you know,
Do 'em
beat the
at that
pavement.
point,
Yeah,
right?
so we do a
Yeah.
lot of events. You can go onto our website, heartstringsforheroes.org, and see where we're at any given time. You know,
Yeah.
we have an event March 3rd up at High Octane event. That's our
Okay.
7th.
I saw that.
Ride and Rockfest 7.
And
We've been doing it.
there's actually a poker run going along with that and everything.
Yeah, we
right?
like
that's
to.
That's in Homosassa.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And then after that, we doing one on April 14th at Biff Burger.
Well, that's my birthday.
Oh, that's your birthday,
Is it
babe.
really?
Ah, beautiful day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Beautiful day.
You can be our guest of honor. How's that? If you don't have any other plans, then it's a birthday. So, but yeah, you're more than welcome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And you've worked quite a bit with Gold Star families.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell me about that relationship and what it's meant to you and some of the things that you guys do?
Yeah, you guys know Craig Gross.
Yeah, I love Craig Gross.
And
Good
our
friend of
story
ours,
of how
too.
we met.
Frankie's Patriot Barbecue. If
Frankie's
you haven't
Patriot
been there,
Barbecue.
you need to go. That's Craig Gross's place. And when you get there, Craig will tell you the whole story.
Oh,
US
yeah,
19
yeah.
in Alberton. Yeah.
He's become like family to me. I go to Arlington every
Yeah.
year, and we lay wreaths there at his son's
Right.
grave, and I think there's a picture of us with the guitar that we gave him, special
Yes.
guitar that we had painted with his son's image on it.
I've seen him actually perform on that guitar, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's played that song that he wrote for his son.
They buried my son in Arlington.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's played that at all our events over the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Like religiously since he started. I
He
mean,
is he's a person that's what's so amazing about not just our Gold Star families, but some of our veterans coming home from war and some of the folks that are around it. Every single person that I meet that's really invested in this process
Yeah.
of helping warriors return from war
Right.
and families heal
Right.
after war.
Right.
The dedication that they have to the whole entire process, and Craig is one great
Yeah.
example, as you are too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, when something bad happens in your life, God steers you on a path where you never thought you would end up.
Right.
You know, I just interviewed a guy, Steve Chamberlain, 50 Legs, and he had his leg chopped off in a motorcycle accident. And he says that was the best thing that ever happened to him. He thanks God
wow.
every day for losing his leg. Because now he has a foundation that gives prosthetics to military, kids,
Right.
and everything else.
Yes.
And same with me. If I didn't go through the whole alcohol thing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing this.
I get it. We meet a lot of folks, and they all kind of say the same thing.
Yeah. Take something bad for something good to happen.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the Gold Star process that you have, because to tell you the truth,
Right.
there's not many organizations out there. I mean, we've got TAPS, which is an amazing
Right.
organization.
Yeah, they are fantastic.
But there's not many organizations serving our Gold Star families.
Right.
Yeah,
As
well,
as a primary.
right. They need to heal from their loss. So it's just music, again, is another way to heal them
Yeah.
as well, because, their loss is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. But I say to Craig all the time, I said, the amount of people that Frankie has brought together with
Oh my
his
goodness.
loss
Yeah.
is like a blessing. It's another
Unbelievable.
blessing.
And we got another person that we share in common, Ben Kopp. And
Oh,
Jill-
yeah. Jill
Yep.
Stevenson.
As a matter of fact, I don't know where my phone is, but I have the Benergized
Benergized.
sticker
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
back
I
of
was
my
with
phone.
her at Arlington this year,
Yeah.
and we did an interview at her son's grave.
Yep.
We talk about Benergy all the time.
Yep,
You know,
we
how
do
he's
too.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh
It's
my
amazing.
God,
And-
is it ever amazing?
And I love the fire that she has.
Yeah.
And I love the path that she's going on.
She's a very, very peaceful, happy person.
Yeah.
Through all the stuff she's gone through.
Yeah.
She amazingly has that. She's at peace with it.
She's got an enormous heart. Too.
Yeah.
A huge
Great,
heart.
great human being.
Great human being, and honestly, she gives some great hugs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She really does.
Gotta have the hug.
She's like mama.
She's
Yeah.
everyone's mom, right?
Yeah, she
Did
really
you know
is.
Ben Kopp?
Yeah.
I did not know Ben Kopp.
Okay.
So I met. So let me tell it this in two ways.
Yeah.
I did not know Ben Kopp. I read his story and I knew Ben Kopp.
Right.
Yeah.
He was. You
It
look
sounded
at
very familiar to you.
Yeah, you look at so many warriors that choose that line of work to be an Army Ranger, a Green Beret, a Navy SEAL, even infantry.
Badass.
You look at all
Right.
these guys who choose that walk in life. and there's a lot of us that have very similar backgrounds.
Right.
And Ben, his behavior and demeanor while he was growing up, and even when he was a young troop, was not different from mine or many other guys I knew.
Right. So you can relate.
You can relate to it. And even though he was a very active guy, he still had his left and right boundaries.
Right.
Which kept his moral values intact.
Right.
And
you could tell that by his mother, too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
His mother just is one of those very awesome people.
And you can tell that from the loyalty of the friends. And I've met a lot of his friends. I've had some of them go through our retreats. It's amazing. So let me go to this. You also have, so November 11th is going to be the Freedom Fest, but November 4th. Tell me about this. And this isn't the first year. You've done this before.
Right. This is going to be our 5th or 6th annual Heartstrings for Heroes Honors Cruise. And we do
a cruise that you have for, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we rent out the whole cruise ship down on Clearwater Beach, and we invite 350 people.
Wow.
And you can go on, in about a month, we're going to post where you can buy tickets on the website, heartstringsforheroes.org. And we invite 5 Purple Heart combat veterans on it. We give them all brand new guitars, $4,000 worth of guitars.
Oh, wow.
And then we surprise a fallen fan, like a Gold Star family, with another guitar with their mural on it, their son, their fallen,
Who
son or
does the
daughter.
murals on those?
I have 2 people that do them.
Because those are,
Badass,
detailed, man. Those are amazing.
We spend a lot of time, like 3 months doing it.
What a gift.
And all the details of their life and little things, just little personal items on there, that hidden things, and only the parents know, kind of.
To really personalize it,
That's really powerful. That's really powerful. So you do this every year. How many days is it?
It's just one day.
Just one day?
Yeah, we do a motorcycle ride up until the boat.
Yep.
And then everybody parks their bike, hops on the boat for 3 hours.
3 hours,
There's a live band, the Greg Billings band.
Oh,
plays
Greg
it.
Billings,
I like
cool.
Greg Billings. It's a good band.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And you're advertising with the right crew, because here in Newport Richie, a lot of people like the Greg Billings band. They perform up here all the time.
We're going to sell it out this year. And
I'm
it's
sure.
Awesome. And we got the military Order of the Purple Heart. They're heavily involved. Richard Hunt and them.
Yep.
He comes on and he's the MC every year.
That's
does an
awesome.
amazing job. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He's like blah, 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 blah for like a half an hour strong. You know, he's amazing.
Oh, wow.
That is absolutely.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
That's absolutely awesome.
You guys got to come this year.
We do.
I think that we'll be out there.
Yeah,
I
you
think
got
we'll
tickets,
be out there.
for sure.
So I got to tell you, Wade, we've tried to get Wade on the show a couple of times.
Yes.
And you can see this man is doing a lot. He's not only had this, he also has the other things that he's doing in life. So this Heartstrings for Heroes, what was probably secondary at one point, became absolutely primary, it seems like. And,
now it has again.
Yeah.
Last year I spent 1.5 years touring with a band. We did 70 cities in 35 states.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I said, oh yeah,
that
need
sounds
a break.
exhausting.
I need a break. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I have no break. I got a new thing, but it's it's just something that I do.
Unbelievable to have you on the show.
Yes,
I look
thank
forward
you.
to the next time you guys are going to see this guitar is going to be on the stage during Freedom Fest 2018,
November 11th.
10th and 11th. Go to heartstringsforheroes.org. And about next month, we're going to start having, you guys will start having the advertisements for the
Honors
cruise.
Cruise, yep.
And check
Starting
out where those
in
guys
March.
are so you can buy your raffle tickets for this guitar and the other 2 guitars they have out there. Wade, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Thanks
We
for
will
having
see-
me. Thank you very much.
Absolute honor, and we'll see you on the next episode of The March Home.